Finally, a fresh face atop the podium. Not only did Ryan Dungey win his first ever AMA Motocross Lites race at Washougal, but he became the first non-Kawasaki rider to win an event in 2008 in either class. Now, under the tutelage of the Stewart family, Dungey is pressing hard to find ways to keep winning. Yet for the third year in a row, the championship is almost assured to go to Ryan Villopoto, who has dominated the season. His Lites career is coming to a close as several hungry challengers try to prove they're worthy of running with a champion. AMA Toyota Motocross Lites of Minnesota, next on Speed. The Honda Spring Creek Pro National, round 10 of the Toyota AMA Motocross Championship, presented by FMF from the Spring Creek Motocross Park in Millville, Minnesota. Hi everybody, Ralph Shaheen alongside multi-time champion Jeff Emig, and of course Aaron Bates joining us as well. Fans sitting along the hillside getting ready for a nice day of motocross competition. And a lot of the attention will be focused on this man, Ryan Villopoto, who can wrap up a championship today.
Well, it's been a tough season for him at times, but he definitely has gained a lot of points on second place, and now he's able to wrap up the championship potentially with only 3 races left.
Here's a look at the points with just a couple of rounds to go. Dungey's been making some noise, won the last round, but probably not going to be able to catch him in the points. Here's a look at Ryan Dungey, and Jeff, he has been coming on strong.
Well, he definitely has gone through some growing pains this season, but fantastic. This is the home race for Dungey.
For Progressive Pre-Race Report, here's Aaron Bates.
While championships are being wrapped up, today marks a special day for a select group of riders. 5 of the guys that are behind me were racing in amateur ranks last week at Loretta Lynn's. This week, they're making their debut in the pro ranks. But one guy you want to keep your eye on, the number 144 of Alex Martin. He's expected to do extremely well here. His mother and father, John and Greta Martin, had bought this track back in 1988, so he's grown up racing on this track. He says he wants more than anything to do extremely well here, considering that half the people in this crowd are acquaintances of him. The problem being is that he broke his right wrist at Loretta Lynn's. He does have it taped up. He said he is riding in a little bit of pain, but we're about to find out how well he does under pressure.
Jeff, how much will that home field advantage help him out today?
Well, the broken wrist is definitely going to set him back, but I think the emotions of being here at the home track is what's going to help carry him through the day.
A Honda race format pretty much like every other week. 40 riders in the gate, 2 motos, 30 minutes, 2 laps. And everybody in the top 20 scoring points. And of course, it's that combination of how you do in the 2 motos that decides our overall. Here's our Suzuki starting grid, and as always, this lineup comes based on how they did in the qualifying practices.
And once again, it was Ryan Villopoto out front, but Cunningham up in the top 5. That's a good showing. There's going to be some interesting rides here today. The rookies, the first-timers, are going to show a lot of enthusiasm here.
Riders in the gate. There goes a 30-second board. We're set to get underway with Moto 1 for the Motocross Lites. Boy, Martin Davalos getting another good start, Jeff.
And the champ, Ryan Villopoto, just behind him. Dungey's up front.
Oh, there goes Villopoto right up the inside. And into the lead goes the reigning champ.
Look at Villopoto already showing that he is warmed up and ready to wrap up this championship here today at Millville. Beautiful day, absolutely perfect weather here.
Here comes Dungey on the yellow Rockstar Makita Suzuki, number 28, up into second.
Josh Grant setting back and forth.
Hometown race for Dungey, rider out of Minnesota.
And let's see if he can match the pace of Villopoto. He was second in qualifying, just a bit off of Villopoto. But of course, once it comes race time, those extra emotions of it being your home race definitely can play a part, help drive you up to the front of the pack.
Davalos has his hands full with Josh Grant right now. Grant on that number 20 Geico Power Sports Honda. He chased to the KTM. The 5 down goes Davalos.
You can see what happened here, Ralph, is that they take the bulldozers and they make an inside berm and an outside berm. Typically, that inside line, that berm that's there, is really just a bunch of loose dirt that's pushed up there. It doesn't really have a lot of base to it. It doesn't hold real well. That had to be what Davalos did, is he buried it in there. The berm just gave way. Disappointing. Oh, you see Dungey here make a little mistake here on the same type of turn. That's going to give Villopoto just a couple bike lengths of breathing room here, but such a long moto ahead. This is, once again, you can see there at the top of the screen how there's an outside and an inside. And they actually man-made those with the bulldozer.
Well, Villopoto with the opportunity, as you look at our motocross.com field summary, Villopoto with the opportunity to clinch the championship here mathematically this weekend, and boy, I guess he just wants to put it away, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's a real possibility for him, and you see Dungey staying right here with him. But we only have to go back 1 year to remember what Villopoto went through at this same racetrack in the championship battle with Ben Townley, where Townley just absolutely blew him away the first moto. We were all amazed. The second moto here, let's take a look at the start replay.
Here we go, watch Davalos get the whole shot, the 577, the KTM, and then things didn't work out too well for him a few corners later. Matt Lemoyne on the 52, charging up through, and he's got another one of those pro circuit Kawasaki's chasing him. Brett Metcalfe on the 123.
Well, both these riders have been strong lately, but Metcalfe, riding with an injury, has still managed to notch some podium finishes. Just incredible drive and determination that Metcalfe has shown. See him trying outside line here.
Oh, off he goes.
Off to the outside. Don't collect the banners. Very clean back on the track. He's looking down to see if he caught banners. Possibly that there was a problem going on with rock or something stuck in his brake. That's why he missed the berm to begin with.
He's still looking, Jeff, in mid-flight there. He was taking a look down. That's Brock Tickle now in front of him, Lemoyne's teammate. Well, Moto 1 is underway here at Millville. Stay with us here on Speed. High-speed racing demands even faster news. That's what you get on the motorcycle racing section of SpeedTV.com. You'll get the most up-to-date news, results, and in-depth commentary on the web. Go now to SpeedTV.com, your online motorsports authority. Welcome back to Spring Creek Motocross Park. We're just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Millville, Minnesota is the site. Round number 10, and our race leader here in the early stages of Moto number 1, this man with the red number 1 plate because he is a reigning champion, Ryan Villopoto.
Villopoto once again is on rails, has that fast but loose type of style where he seems like he gets a little out of control, but he never lets off the throttle. Just out the right side of your picture here, though, Minnesota native Ryan Dungey not letting Villopoto get away, kept him in sight here.
Here's Josh Grant, 22-year-old out of California. Been spending a lot of time in Florida as well. He's running up in third.
Good ride for Grant. You can see the leaders just went out of your screen. The leaders really got away pretty quick there on that first lap. So Grant here, even though he's in a podium position setting third, he's kind of in no man's land. It's really difficult mentally to keep into the race, to keep your lap times going when you can't see anyone in front of you, and you can't see, and you're not getting the pressure from anyone behind you. So this is where you focus on it. It's much like almost like a practice session where your mechanic will be giving you the lap times on the board. He'll come past the mechanics area right here. So what Josh Grant needs to do is just focus on those lap times, keep trying to lower it.
Matt Lemoyne continues to deal with Brett Metcalfe. Metcalfe, remember, went off the track, got back on the track, and is caught back up to Matt Lemoyne.
That would be Tickle just behind them.
Lemoyne's in the blue riding gear on the Yamaha. And that is Metcalfe on that Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
You can see the undulations here at the track here at Spring Creek.
Ooh, good
There's
work.
so many, yeah, I've been studying. so many great hills, uphills, downhills. Tremendous amount of fun jumps here. This little step down, or that little drop off has been there. And of course, we're pulling into Holy Schmidt here, named after the late Donnie Schmidt. This year, they actually shortened it up a little bit because they just kept stretching it out.
Yeah.
It was just too big.
It was pretty big. It was pretty big. The other thing about it, we can talk about it more when we come back to Millville, is quality of the dirt. A lot of farm country around here. We'll be right back to Millville. The AMA Toyota Motocross Lites in action here. Here's Matt Lemoyne, the 19-year-old out of Texas, still battling with Metcalfe. Boy, Metcalfe's not about to be done here anytime soon. He's really pushing hard.
I'll give you a little perspective right here. Oh, is Metcalfe finally, is he going to make the pass the same place he went off the track? Can he make it stick?
Looks like he's got him this time. Metcalfe's going to finally get around and take the position away from Matt Lemoyne. And Jeff, we were talking about the dirt here just before the break. It just looks so rich.
Oh, it definitely is. And when you get into the creek section, there's actually, it's really sandy. These sections, yeah, it definitely has a sand base, but it's much harder, you know, up on top of the hill. But just great lines. Track gets really rough, but rough in a fun way, not rough in a hard square edge, you leave the place with blisters type of way.
Josh Grant off of a third place finish at the X Games.
Which I think was not what he expected going in. He definitely had the potential to nab gold there. Only came away with less than that.
And a bit of a hurt ankle as well. Hurt his ankle at Bud's Creek, I should say. And not 100% there yet.
It's tough to ride with injuries, and nobody's had more injuries, it seems like, that's been on the podium than Brett Metcalfe.
Yeah, he's been racking them up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does, but he has that ability to just grit it and just work his way through it. And, you know, Metcalfe stays in this class here for another year. I think that, you know, with Villopoto going out, he's definitely going to be one of the favorites for next year.
It should be a good year between riders like Metcalfe. We know that Dungey's going to stick around. Trey Canard, Nico Izzi, those guys getting a little bit more seasoning to them. They're getting faster each and every round. It should make for a good upcoming season.
Well, it always does, especially here when some of the rookies off of the amateur circuit step up here to get their feet wet in these last 3 nationals of the season. They always come out with a lot of fire also.
Of course, there won't be much of a break for any of these riders because they'll be heading right off into Supercross here in just a couple of months.
Well, Supercross testing for sure. They'll take a week or so off and then get right back into it, kind of recharge their batteries, and then switch gears.
Here's Kyle Cunningham working his way up. Well, you call a week off a lot of time off?
Yeah, well, in the motocross racing, it is.
It is, isn't it?
And what's interesting about motocross, and what I've found throughout my history, is that it's something that when you're at this top level, you have to ride and practice all the time. Whereas road race and other stuff, they don't ride or drive the race car or ride the race bike that much. Motocross guys, their practice bikes are just like the race bikes, and they have to ride 2 or 3 times a week to feel right on the weekend.
Well, and you see now, too, when you talk to the riders on their way up. I remember talking to Ryan Villopoto a couple of years ago, asking him, well, what do you do when you don't ride? Nothing. That's all I do is I ride. I ride, and then I ride some more. He's riding to the front today. To Millville, Minnesota. Ryan Dungey, the Minnesota native, right here on the Rockstar Makita Suzuki. Running in second place here in Moto number 1. Trying to catch up to Ryan Villopoto, but that seems to be a pretty difficult thing to do here in Moto number 1 today. I'm not sure anybody has anything for Ryan.
Yeah, Villopoto definitely motivated to wrap up the championship and to do it in grand style by winning both motos. See him, he's just been so strong, and kind of getting back to what we were talking about last year, that battle that he had with Ben Townley, to me, it was one of the most incredible motocross races that I had ever witnessed. And it was strange in the way that the first moto, Villopoto really wasn't on, and then the second moto, a few laps into the race, he just flipped the switch and and just blew me away. It was just an incredible ride. So having that confidence from what you've done last year, knowing that you can perform at a very high level here, helps with your confidence. See Villopoto taking a little look back here when he gets the chance through these 180s to see where the competition is. Right now he's really dialed it back down, just slowed it up a little bit, doesn't want to take any chances, grab that 25 points.
One more moto to go here today, and of course it's that combination between the finishing positions of the two motos will decide the overall winner. And if Villopoto can wrap up that title here this weekend. Now he won't be able to do that here in this moto, and we are on the final lap, but Jeff, if everything goes right, he could mathematically clinch it here today.
Well, he definitely looks like that he's on his way, and it's incredible that we're 3 races from the end of the season. He hasn't won every moto like Stewart has in the motocross class, but he has been right there by the front each and every moto. This competition has been up and down, so it really gave him a huge points gap. Nice comfort zone.
Comfortable ride right here, too, to the checkered flag for Ryan Villopoto as he wins moto number 1 and takes another step closer to hanging on to that red back number 1 plate. Local favorite Ryan Dungey comes home second. Josh Grant with a nice run up to third, and Kyle Cunningham gets 5th. Let's check in now. Here's Aaron with Josh Grant.
Well, Josh Grant also experiencing some bike problems out there. Josh, you lost your back brake at one point, and take us through what happened from there.
Well, I had 2 laps to go, and just came into a rut, jammed the back brake, and it got stuck. So I went in to rail another corner and had no back brake. So I actually went into the crowd, hit the chain link fence, and got stuck. So it held me up a little bit. But I'm excited. I'm just pumped that the Geico Power Sports Honda team got me up here, and it's just I couldn't thank them enough.
Face it, you've got a passion for motorcycle racing. Fuel your passion on the go with news and results from Speed Green Alerts. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Now here's Ryan Dungey with Aaron Bates.
Well, the last time we saw Ryan Dungey, he took his very first career overall Moto X Lites. What did that mean to you, first off, Ryan? And right now only 12 points is separating that championship. It's up to you to keep it alive. Are you feeling any pressure?
No, I mean, the pressure's not on me at all. I'm the guy coming up to beat, and Villopoto's one with all the points and the pressure, but coming off my first win, it felt great. I really pumped I did it. But, there's more races, and got to take each race the same and enjoy it.
Ryan Villopoto on that number 1 Kawasaki, the winner here in moto number 1. And of course, that means he too will talk with Aaron.
Ryan Villopoto is so close to that 3rd title, he can almost taste it. Ryan, one more moto to go, and only 12 points is separating you at this moment. What's going through your head?
Just want to stay up this next moto, and definitely I want to try to win the race and get the overall. But if something little happens, or I just want to finish the race and make sure I claim that 3rd championship, and I can leave this race and go to the last 2 just to race instead of making sure my bike's okay and I'm okay and stuff like that. So everything's good.
Yes, it is. If you're Ryan Villopoto, championship may be waiting for him when we get ready to come back for moto number 2. Reminder that you can get news and results from Speed Green Alerts. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Here's Aaron Bates with a Green Pit Report.
Well, Ryan Villopoto lines up to the gate knowing that he has a possibility to take home his 3rd consecutive Motocross Lites championship. He said he's not feeling a ton of pressure quite yet because there's still 5 races left in the series that he can manage to conquer that. He said that the biggest thing that he wants to do here is repay the favor to Ryan Dungey and take away his overall victory in front of the hometown track. He said that's what happened to him at Washougal, and that's what he wants to happen here. But he said most importantly, coming into this 2nd moto, a hole shot is key. He said this track is a difficult one. His first championship, a memorable one. His 2nd championship, defending it, always a difficult one. But this one here would mean a lot, and he definitely wants to take it home to leave the Lites class with another title under his belt.
Well, and remember, Villopoto only needs an 18th or better, but hole shot key. That's exactly what he's saying. Is get out front, stay clean, win the overall, makes it that much sweeter.
Is the championship waiting for Ryan Villopoto at the end? Here we go, Moto 2 underway. rider down hard. Couple riders involved. They're still stacking it up, and it doesn't look like Villopoto got the whole shot, Jeff.
6 bikes down.
Davalos with the whole shot again. Here's Villopoto up to second.
Carbon copy start of the first moto with Villopoto setting in second. Let's see if Davalos had learned anything from the first moto that he can apply. See if he can lead the first lap here at Millville.
Well, it looks like Ryan's pushing hard to get out front early. He does so. Now he's just going to try to gap himself with the rest of the field and cruise to a checkered flag and a championship.
So far, everything's going as planned. This is exactly what he needed to do, was get a great start, get out front. Take a look, that's Josh Grant. Blake Wharton, one of the rookies, setting in fourth with the hometown boy, Ryan Dungey.
Dungey, the only guy with a shot in the championship, sitting back in second place in the championship. Oh, down goes Villopoto. You gotta be kidding me.
Uh-oh, and his visor's off.
And he is scrambling to get to his bike, and here comes the pack, and there go all those points. He only needed 3 here today, Jeff, in this moto to lock up the championship, and you can just see those points just trickling away as all those bikes went by.
And this is just what Ryan Dungey needed, a little bit of luck here to keep himself in the championship, and you can see Villopoto just loses traction with the front tire, tucks the front end, lands on his head, breaks off the visor. That's going to be an issue as he comes through the pack, trying to duck his head and use the helmet visor to keep the roost from getting on his goggles. Quite a bit of dirt flies up here. This Millville mulch, if you will.
Is that a part of the consistency of the dirt that we were talking about earlier here today? The front end of that bike just washing away?
Well, you know, that's just one of those sections where you just kind of got the lean angle a little too much, and who knows, just lost a little traction with the front tire.
Well, he's in 24th right now, and that is not good enough. He's got to get, what do we say, up to 18th? 18th would give him the points that he needs, so he's got a little ground to make up here.
Just get the adrenaline flowing, but what it does is as he has to work his way past all these other riders, which in Villopoto's case, they're slower riders, it makes it that much more dangerous to, you know, in the back of his mind, he's thinking championship first, overall second, moto win beyond that, if you get where I'm going. You never know when you're trying to work your way past some of the riders in the middle part of the pack here. They make a mistake, accidentally take him out. Well, sure, nobody would do that intentionally.
And they're not necessarily used to somebody running as hard as he is, taking the lines that he might. He's working past the 732 of Ty Hames.
Really making short work of some of these guys, just inside, outside. He's not wasting any time making the moves, and that's because Villopoto is just so aggressive. I mean, he is fast, but it's his aggressiveness that he just wastes no time.
Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Dungey trying to reel in Martin Davalos.
Boy, and this has opened the door for Dungey to possibly get the overall here today on his home turf. And if you remember back, just one race ago, took the overall on Villopoto's home turf, and that's what Ryan was talking about. He wanted to take that back, you know, pull that back in his direction.
A 2-1 would absolutely do it. A second in the first moto and a win here in moto number 2 would definitely do that for Dungey, and you know he's thinking that in the back of his mind.
And remember how we quoted with the stat that Villopoto only needed 18th or better. That's considering Dungey gets the full 25 points because he's setting second place in points. Right now.
But the other thing is too, though, Jeff, is that Dungey knows that Villopoto is going to be charging from behind, so he can't wait too long here. I mean, Villopoto, he just wants to get the championship locked up. But you know as well as I do, he wants to finish this championship off with a win, I should say. We'll be right back. Martin Davalos leading here in moto number 2 at Millville, Minnesota. Ryan Dungey chasing him down. Blake Wharton still hanging in here in 3rd place in this moto, and that's an outstanding ride for this young rider.
And well, this is exactly what we were wanting to see today, is which one of the rookies coming off of their amateur career was going to step up and raced with the big guys in the Motocross Lights competition. None of them got the start in the first moto, but the second moto, it's all about Blake Wharton right now running in a podium position.
Blake actually got 10th in the first moto, and Jeff, it wasn't too long ago that we were having those same conversations about Ryan Dungey here on that Rockstar Makita Suzuki, a yellow number 28, trying to get the lead away from Davalos.
Well, that's really what it takes, is for these riders to get up there and, oh, and it's Dungey to the inside.
That's going to make it. Yep, that's going to be good enough. Dungey now, the overall race leader here, and on his way maybe taking the overall win here this weekend at his home track.
And you really heard the crowd here at Spring Creek, all the local fans cheering him on. Hillsides are full of the spectators. That's what they wanted to see, was Ryan Dungey out front. This, if they stay right here, he will also have the overall and the moto win. What a way to dampen the day for Ryan Villopoto, who really is on his way to winning the championship, barring any more mistakes. Nice consolation. Work to the inside.
He's going to get the spot away from Martin Davalos.
How's that? Blake Wharton up into second place, and he is not far off the lead. He might not be done yet.
Jeff, do you remember the day you made your pro debut?
Yeah, I sure do. I don't think I have ever been as tired after a single moto as I was my very first moto. Whole shot, led for 20 minutes, finished 7th. Didn't even want to ride the second moto, I was so tired.
Biggest surprise to you when you got known? Oh, down hard is Martin Davalos, and he scrambles off the track.
See his bike here in the center of your screen, setting upside down. Davalos not too
anxious to go get it.
Too anxious to go get back on it. That is a very difficult section.
And there goes Villopoto, by the way. Oh, another rider down.
That's Bobby Canary that went down.
And Villopoto picks up a couple more spots, trying to get into the top 10 as he's battling with Will Hahn. He sits in 12, even with Dungey. Well, he's in 11th.
There he is.
Even with Dungey leading, that would be enough for the championship.
Well, yeah, 18th or better. That's what he needed. But Ryan Villopoto, the type of drive, determination that he has, he's not going to be satisfied until he gets it up into the #1 spot. Might be a big order at this point, but you never know. This young man has put on some incredible rides, and coming back from this fall on the first lap, actually down this downhill right here. This is where he went down. See, he chooses a little bit different line this time, stays more to the right-hand side, the rider's right. He's working on McFarland. Or worked on McFarland,
yeah.
Made short work of him. Wow, what an incredible pace Ryan Villopoto was putting in here in this second moto.
It's Jake Weimer now right in front of him on the 30. Not just working his way into the top 10, but now working his way well up into the top 10.
Wow, it's incredible. Villopoto around the outside grabs one more position. He is not wasting any time. He gets behind these riders and just does not follow, keeps the hammer down.
Weimer was 7th in the first moto. Villopoto, of course, if you're just joining us, a winner of Moto #1. Trying to wrap up his 3rd straight championship in Motocross Lights.
Well, and I can tell you, he's going to be extremely happy if he ends up wrapping up the championship here today. But he's going to look back on the photos from this one without the visor on his helmet there. It'll be a little embarrassing, but I'm telling you, being 3-time champion crushes anything that his appearance, lack of style in his appearance here today. This is that section here. Martin Davalos went down. Such a fast section as you come out of the first turn area, you come down and you're really hard on the throttle, going through the gears, then you hit these rollers straight into the braking bumps. That's what I'm saying about this track, as you can see here with Lemoyne just really getting out of shape through the sand whoops. It's really loose, it's got that sandy soil, it's got a little bit of harder base up on top of the hill. These sand whoops here are extremely deep, but there's just something about this track, how it shapes up. If you are feeling the flow like what Villopoto is here today, it may be extremely rough and gnarly, but it is so much fun.
A lot of fun when you're winning, especially when you're winning a championship. Stay with us, we're coming back. It's on the line today for this man, the number 1 of Ryan Villopoto. He's working his way up into the top 10, fighting over 8th place right now. Looks like he's going to take that. And you got to wonder, Jeff, is the overall within reach? Could he really track down our race leader, Ryan Dungey?
Well, I would have to say with the performance that Ryan Dungey put in the first moto, might be a little out of reach for Villopoto. Plus, as the laps wind down and he gets closer to the finish of this moto, mentally he's going to go, okay, you know what? I've got myself into a top 10, top 5 position, whatever it ends up being. But maybe I can just back it down here. If I'm not going to win this moto, just take it easy and win the championship. 3 in a row. Just such an incredible mark if he can close it down here today.
Not around Nico Izzi for 341 there.
And Villopoto could join the ranks of Brock Glover, Mark Barnett, and Ricky Carmichael of being the riders that have won 3 Motocross Lites championships in a row.
Jake Moss, those guys are all pretty good. So you're saying that you would actually ease off?
Well, I'm not saying I would ease off, but in my Lights career, I never was as dominant and confident as what Ryan Villopoto is here, where he week in, week out, he's the fastest rider there. Dungey really has been strong lately, so he's going to ride to the point to where he feels comfortable, and if he's comfortable passing riders and moving his way forward, that's what he's going to do.
Okay, but what if he starts getting up to, all right, let's say he gets to 3rd, and he starts seeing the board, and his mechanics are telling him, you're catching Dungey, and you've got, you know, a handful of laps left. Do you think he gets a little bit more aggressive and just throws it all out there?
I don't think so. I don't think you risk it. Moss, though, on the other hand, has put in a great ride here today. Villopoto finally gets past him, but 6th place for Moss. Not a bad ride.
So Villopoto goes to 6, gets after Grant. And remember, Josh had a very good run going in Moto number 1, finished 3rd on the podium, but his ankle wasn't that great. And it looks like it might be giving him fits here in this moto because he's not running as strong in Moto 2.
Yeah, I want to get back to Moss there for a second. That, you know, he hasn't ridden these tracks before. Josh Grant, Villopoto, these guys have grown up riding these tracks for the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm really impressed with some of the new riders that have came here to our championship. They said, we're going where the best riders, motocross riders in the world are. It's here in the AMA National Motocross Series.
Well, you might be watching him right here too, Ryan Villopoto. Justin Brayton having an outstanding ride. But boy, you know, you'd have to put Villopoto, if you were to pick half a dozen guys in the overall world of motocross and motocross lights, I think you'd have to put Villopoto in that pack of 6, wouldn't you?
He most definitely would be in the on the podium, I think. And we're going to see if he can be at the top of that list next year when he challenges James Stewart and all the other racers.
Well, now Villopoto is up to 4th as he gets around Brayton. So now we're into that zone, Jeff, with a few laps remaining here. Does he start watching the signboard and think that he can catch the man who is at the front, Ryan Dungey? Look at this, Blake Wharton dealing with Brett Metcalfe. And Wharton making his debut on the Pro Tour, getting a good feel for just how tough the competition is here, because Metcalfe, well, he doesn't let go easy.
Well, and it's going to be a real challenge because Metcalfe is always the strongest at the end of the 2nd moto. Wharton here, coming off of an amateur career where the motos aren't quite this long. You usually run 15, 20 minutes, a lot of sprints, multiple motos within a day. Wharton, though, just an incredible ride for him. He's got a brother that races also at the top level, so Tyler, and see him taking a look back, but who he needs to worry about is Brett Metcalfe, that is right on his rear wheel. I'm sure he knows Metcalfe's MO, and that's all the way to the checkered flag. He gives 100%.
Well, he's getting a good look at him right now, because here comes Metcalfe right alongside.
Then he shut the door. No, back to the inside.
Oh, not enough. Metcalfe's going to take over 2nd place. Race leader is still Ryan Dungey, but Metcalfe on that Pro Circuit Kawasaki taking a challenge.
and Metcalfe got by for that position. I'm telling you, Blake Wharton here, he has to be extremely happy with his performance here in the second moto. He is the standout rookie of the day.
Metcalfe was 4th in Moto 1. He wants on the podium here in Moto 2. Back to the AMA Toyota Motocross Series. Motocross Lites in action at the Spring Creek Motocross Park. We're in Millville, Minnesota. Blake Wharton making his pro debut today, and he's going to see maybe the best pro in the field come challenge him now. Ryan Villopoto.
No doubt. Here's going to be a free lesson on how to go around the track here at Spring Creek as the number 1. Look at him just flying into the turn, still on a mission. He knows 3rd place is just in front of him.
But for a guy who's got the championship wrapped up, he ain't backing off. Side by side with Wharton, and Villopoto is going to take over 3rd.
And let's see if he can put up much of a fight. He's staying even with him, but now Villopoto shuts the door.
Yeah, he pinched him there, didn't he?
They take a little look over at each other. You see Wharton, he didn't back off of this triple step up. Man, Villopoto is on the gas still.
Yeah, now he's got to go after another one of the Monster Energy Pro Circuit riders in Brett Metcalfe. Metcalfe, there you see him on the 123, and Villopoto's catching him, Jeff.
And you can see as the roost flies up off the back of Metcalfe's bike in this sand section, this is where it's really difficult for Villopoto, and what is just blowing me away is that he's riding from the back of the pack, almost last in this moto with no visor on his helmet. There's a real good chance for sand and dirt to get on top of his goggles into the helmet. The technology with these goggles is just incredible these days to seal off the rider's face to keep that dirt from going in, but not having the visor.
Look at this.
Wow.
Here he comes, right up the inside on Metcalfe, and we've talked all day about what a bulldog Metcalfe is and just does not give you many openings. And Villopoto just forces the issue and takes over 2nd place. Okay, so where does this guy back off?
Maybe not at all. He really is feeling the flow. You see him just as fast and determined as ever. He's got a long ways to go, though, to catch Dungey. One lap to go.
Yeah, now I think it's the clock that's going to get the better of Ryan Villopoto more than the field, because in 1 lap, there's no way he's going to catch Ryan Dungey. Jeff, how big of a shock is it that this part of the season, that's exactly what it is, a good ride for the 3-time champ. Ryan Dungey's going to win 2 overalls.
Yeah, for Dungey, this is a real confidence booster here going into the rest of the season and for next year, that wins these overalls along with Austin Stroupe winning the 1st overall. They're the only riders with the experience from 08 going into next year. And this has got to be a good feeling here to grab the overall win at your home race. When he comes into the main spectator area on the last lap, Ryan Dungey really is going to have goosebumps. This is going to be a great feeling to finally win here.
Here comes a visorless Ryan Villopoto. You can actually see him a little bit in the background now with the gap closing, but Dungey has slowed his pace down, even though Villopoto hasn't.
Well, enjoy this overall win here, Ryan Dungey. This has been an incredible ride here.
He's certainly setting himself up to be the odds-on favorite for the championship next year. Obviously, there's quite a few riders who can challenge him for it, but I would think all the preseason polls pretty much put Dungey at the top of the potential champions list.
Yeah, well, long time between now and then, but as it stands right now, Dungey really has stepped up his game. He's matured. What I like is that he's brought his speed up. I think he actually just that overall best lap time is better than what it was at the beginning of the season.
And a lot of that credit has to go to the fact that he's been training at the Stewart family facility down in Florida.
Yeah, well, there's nobody that turns faster lap times in the world than James Stewart, so he gets a chance to learn from that. Definitely has been a part of it.
Well, the Rockstar Makita Suzuki rider out of Minnesota, on his way to winning in front of the home crowd, something that Ryan Villopoto couldn't say he did in his Lites career. He wasn't able to accomplish that at Washougal.
Over Holy Schmidt one more time, waves to the crowd.
And a checkered flag falls for Ryan Dungey, who wins the overall here today with a 2-1. But number 1 is really Ryan Villopoto. He has done it. He has wrapped up his third AMA Motocross Lites Championship by finishing second here in Moto number 2. We'll be back to talk to the champ. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live Sunday from Moto Championships to the NASCAR Chase. Be sure to check out Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. Catch up on all the excitement in the world of motorsports. Also, jump online or call in and give Dave your opinion on the big story this week. Sunday, Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, live 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on Speed. Well, here's your Toyota Trucks unofficial results. Moto number 2, and a nice run by Blake Wharton, who comes home in the top 5 in his rookie debut here at Millville. Let's go down to Aaron.
Brett, what is it about this track that always seems to work in your favor?
I think it just gets rough. It's super rough. That second moto was awesome, so I was happy out there. I wanted to race all day, man, but I just got a good start, 2 good starts. We worked hard, Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, thanks to the team. They got us up there, and it's awesome.
As you take a look at the results for the overall, Ryan Dungey with a 2-1 here. The late Donnie Schmidt on a Suzuki gave them their first ever win here in 1987. Schmidt also a Minnesota native. So is our overall winner today.
2 weeks in a row for Ryan Dungey taking home that overall, but this one has got to mean the most in front of your hometown crowd. Can you believe it came true?
Man, I coming in here a little nervous, because last year didn't go with the right, but I came on top this year, and Ryan made it easy there for me to take the overall, but congrats to him in the championship, and dude, I just pumped, and everybody who helped me here to get here, and all the fans here in Minnesota, I appreciate it.
Well, mathematically, it's all done. With 2 rounds left to go, Ryan Villopoto has claimed his 3rd championship. Let's meet the newly crowned champ. He's with Aaron.
Well, he's already done it 2 times before, taking home a championship in the lights division, but this is the first time he's seen the 2008, and to do the honors, the AMA Motocross Series Manager, Jeff Canfield, take it away.
Ryan, 3 in a row. That's pretty spectacular. You're in some pretty elite company. Speed and consistency, as we've seen, will win you a championship. So on behalf of AMA Pro Racing, it's my pleasure to present to you the 2008 AMA Motocross Toyota Championship #1 plate for the Motocross Lights class. Congratulations.
One more to add to the collection. Ryan, determination is what you showed today. You knew going into that moto that you only needed an 8th or better. You went out swinging, got that hole shot, but what happened right after that? You kind of made it hard for yourself today.
Yeah, I just kind of blew it, and in the short run I blew it. In the long run, I was good, but just came down the hill a little too hot, grabbed the front brake, and washed out. And luckily I was able to get back up quick and get the bike started and work my way back up, and Ryan got it, but at least I got the first moto.
What does it mean to you to take home one more title as you leave the lights class and heading into the MX class?
It's definitely a lot. It means a lot. We've worked hard, and this is kind of a stepping stone to the 450 class, and I can only hope to do as good in the 450 class as I have in the 125 class.
Celebration is on. Congratulations on another victorious season so far.
And congratulations also to Mitch Payton and the entire Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki crew. Mitch is going to put another one of those #1 plates on the side of his transport.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. They've been so dominant. That ends Villopoto's championships here in the Lights division. We're going to see him in the motocross, see if he can challenge James Stewart next year.
We'll see him in the next round at Southwick, which of course you'll see here on Speed. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Millville. Congratulations to overall winner Ryan Dungey and to the newly crowned champ, Ryan Villopoto.